Welcome to the Atlanta Wellness Clinic podcast. Hosted by licensed nutritionist and clinic owner Katina Wilson, we're here to kickstart your weight loss journey. Because let's be honest, the only thing we want gaining weight is our wallets. From medical weight loss and nutrition coaching to body contouring, we help Metro Atlanta women get real results. Let's dive in.
Curious about semaglutide and its role in weight loss, Katina Wilson explains this groundbreaking medication is changing the game for those struggling with obesity, offering a scientifically backed method to support weight loss and improve health. Welcome back, Millie M., co-host and producer, back in the studio with Katina Wilson. Katina, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Doing well. It's good to see you again. Tell us, what is semaglutide and how does it aid in weight loss?
All right. So semaglutide is a medication and it belongs to a class of drugs called GLP-1 receptor agonists. So GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide, and it's a naturally occurring hormone that's already in our bodies, right? It plays a significant role in regulating both blood sugar as well as appetite. So here's how the drug mimics GLP-1s. And again, these GLP-1s are actually in our bodies. So first thing it does is it increases satiety. So it works with the brain and it signals to your brain that, hey, I've eaten enough, you're full. So it automatically reduces the appetite and it reduces cravings. So you'll hear a lot of people talk about it reduces that food noise, right? So all of a sudden that candy bar that you typically crave, or me, I'm being an emotional eater, sometimes I like to crave pizza, it gets rid of that food noise, right? So that's kind of the first way it works. The next way it works is it slows down the digestion process. So now you're feeling full and now the food is taking a little bit longer to actually empty from your body. So not only is it working with the brain, but it's slowing down that gastric process as well. And the third thing that it does is it regulates blood sugar. And so many of these GLP-1 medications, they were initially prescribed for people who had type 2 diabetes. And so they was really successful. What they saw is that people who were type 2 diabetic were also starting to lose a tremendous amount of weight. And so the more they studied this medicine, the two main factors is it turns off that food noise, but then you stay full longer because it takes longer for the digestion process to happen. So it's a really great medicine for helping people achieve their weight loss goals.
So tell me, if someone is not type 2 diabetic and they take this GLP-1, what are the potential side effects of using it simply for weight loss?
Yeah, similar to those who are even type 2 diabetic. So first off, they take the medicine every single week. So once a week, you give yourself a small injection. But some of the side effects that we hear about, it could cause nausea and vomiting. It could also cause diarrhea and constipation. What we're finding is the nausea and vomiting happens for a couple of reasons. One, people aren't drinking enough water. And then two, with the medication, because it is slowing down that digestive process, people are actually still trying to eat the same way that they were eating before. So their stomachs are becoming kind of overly full, right? And so the body is just saying, look, a little too much, right? Also because of that, the slowing down of the digestive process, some people experience like constipation. And so generally water helps with that. Most of the time, what we see with our patients, and most of our patients, I will tell you, because our doctors do try to dose in a way where people are not getting sick. And again, as long as you're following like a meal plan, and eating kind of small meals and not trying to overindulge, people don't really get sick. For the most part, if people are experiencing side effects, it's very temporary. It doesn't last very long. And there's some over-the-counter medications that can help with that. Worse yet, our doctors also can prescribe some anti-nausea medications as well.
Sounds good. So is semaglutide suitable for everyone, or is there some specific criteria for eligibility?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's suitable for everyone, right? So if you're somebody who's trying to get ready for a big event and you're just trying to get the last 5 pounds off, it's probably not for you. I mean, this is a very strong drug. So like our doctors, they've gotten some minimum standards, right? Most people need to lose at least a minimum of 10 pounds, but then they also have a BMI, body mass index, over 25, right? So people who are over 25, now you're considered overweight, you're considered obese when you start to get into some of those upper tiers numbers. So those are some of the most basic. We do have some where people who've got like certain kinds of chronic conditions like pancreatitis and things like that, it won't automatically disqualify you, but it certainly will require a conversation with a doctor. But I'd say like the most basic things is like, you're looking to lose 10 pounds and your BMI is a minimum of 25.
Good to know. Also, how long does it typically take for individuals to see results when they get on this medication?
So it is going to vary by individual. But what I can tell you is what we're seeing with a lot of our patients, we're seeing people lose 5 to 7 pounds in a week, right? And over 20 pounds in a month. So again, it works really, really fast. Now, because we're not running around chasing after everybody, making sure that they're eating healthy and they're not eating too much junk food and that sort of a thing, it does vary. Men tend to lose weight a little faster than women, but that's almost
Unfair,
always
but life.
But generally speaking, what we see is people are losing kind of like 5 to 7 pounds a week.
And how does this particular, because I know in our last episode you listed different GLP-1s, how does semaglutide compare to other weight loss medications on the market?
Yeah, so there are a couple of generations of GLP-1. So semaglutide is the first generation, tirzepatide is the second generation, and then the FDA is actually assessing a third generation of the GLP-1s, right? Those are not marketed just yet, but I'm sure within the next 12 months, we'll start to hear about the latest and greatest GLP-1 is. How does it differ? Some of the more popular, even medical weight loss prescriptions, what people will say is, I'm still hungry or it's giving me the jitters. These GLP-1s don't do that. They really kind of go after the things that make weight loss hard, right? So it goes after the cravings and the constant thinking about food, right? And then it also goes after that feeling of hunger, right? So between getting rid of and canceling out the food noise and slowing down the digestion process, it's kind of like the double whammy where it's really going after the things where people struggle with weight loss.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Katina. We look forward to hearing more in the next episode. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Atlanta Wellness Clinic podcast. If you're ready to kickstart your weight loss journey, and not just your bathroom scale and frustration, visit atlwellnessclinic.com or call us at 770-726-8978 for a free 10-minute weight loss consultation. Because the best time to start was yesterday. The second best time? Right now. See you next time.